Good afternoon, everyone. New information on the body that was found in a burned out vehicle near Minto. The North Dakota State Crime Lab has confirmed through DNA analysis that it's the body of Bonita Dolney. Authorities found Dolney on February 18th, about a mile north of Minto. The remains were taken to the UND Forensic Pathology Lab for an autopsy. The Walsh County Sheriff's Office still hasn't released exactly what happened, only saying blizzard-like conditions were a contributing factor. New for you here at 4, a Richland County deputy is recovering after her vehicle was hit by a pickup. Around 10 last night, the deputy was conducting a traffic stop on I-29 when a pickup failed to move over and struck that patrol vehicle. The deputy had to be extricated from her car. She suffered a broken arm and was transported to Fargo for medical treatment. The incident remains under investigation by North Dakota Highway Patrol. Also new at 4, Hamdi Hassan, the 23-year-old missing Moorhead woman, has been found. Moorhead police confirm that she was located and is safe. Her family reported her missing after not having seen her since February 20th. An autopsy is underway after a woman's body was found in a snow pile in Devil's Lake. Police say the body of 33-year-old Catherine Lenore was found Monday behind some garages. She has no permanent address. Foul play is not suspected. Well, after another hit of March snow for some of us this afternoon, we're in for a really cold evening. Summer joins us now with a first look. Summer?
Yeah, thank you so much, Stacy. We had a few snow showers passing through the region over the last couple of hours. Right now, looking quieter in the Fargo area, looking at our Luther Family Ford Skycam, but it's been a cold day with temperatures well below average. Right now, we're at 12 degrees in Fargo, 15 in Jamestown, 16 Fergus Falls, 11 in Grand Forks, only 7 degrees in Bemidji at this hour, holding on to 8 with a partly cloudy sky in Devil's Lake. You can see on satellite and radar some of those passing snow showers that we've had within the cloud cover, and they have been very light, so little, if any, accumulation. However, it is leading to some areas of reduced visibility, down to 4 miles in Devil's Lake, 9 miles in Fargo, visibility at 7 miles in both Fargo and in Hallock as well. Tonight, once the clouds start to clear, it's going to turn cold. We are headed into the single digits below zero, and then after that, things start to change. Stacy, we've got our first alert weather day to talk about Thursday afternoon and evening into the first half of Friday for some scattered snow and wind with another clipper system.
It's almost over.
Almost over.
All right, thanks, Summer. Well, Russian forces continue their siege of Ukrainian cities. The battles have forced civilians to flee, many using moments of ceasefire to escape to safety.
The Kremlin has changed their plan to a war of attrition, which means they're going to smash every town and city to create this terrible refugee flow, the weaponization of refugees, if you will, to put pressure on the Zelensky government and also on other European governments.
At this point, more than 2 million people have escaped Ukraine, with about 1.5 million now refugees taking shelter in nearby Poland. Vice President Kamala Harris is set to visit there to talk about Poland's offer to supply Ukraine with Soviet-era fighter jets. Poland says they'll agree, but only if they first go to the U.S. and other NATO countries before being delivered to Ukraine. However, the Pentagon shot down that plan, saying it would create the perception that NATO was taking part in the war. The list is growing. A number of top American companies are now hitting Russia's economy by halting their products and services. Coca-Cola, Pepsi, McDonald's, Starbucks, and Yum, the parent company of KFC and Taco Bell, have all suspended operations. 159 people were granted U.S. citizenship today in an event at North Dakota State University. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services and the U.S. District Court of North Dakota held the naturalization ceremonies. The citizenship candidates originate from 37 countries, including Afghanistan, Canada, Cuba, Haiti, and Great Britain. The new citizens live throughout the state. The House is considering a vote today on a $1.5 trillion spending bill that would include billions of dollars in aid to Ukraine. Congress must pass legislation by Friday to avert a government shutdown. Deborah Alfarone reports from Capitol Hill.
We're here today in a time of great crisis.
House lawmakers inched closer to passing a massive $1.5 trillion spending bill that would fund the federal government through September.
This agreement does not include everything I wanted, and I know it doesn't include everything my Republican friends wanted. But I think at the end of the day, It's a good package.
The measure, which was hammered out overnight, includes $13.6 billion in military and humanitarian aid for Ukraine as the nation defends itself against a Russian invasion.
Putin is evil, and what he's doing to these people is devastating.
The package did include $15.6 billion for COVID relief, but some lawmakers on both sides of the aisle pushed back, so the bill is being revised.
If it feels like we've been here before, that's because we have. Funding for federal agencies is set to run out at midnight Friday. The bill is huge, almost 3,000 pages, and some lawmakers are complaining that's a lot to sift through in this time frame.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell backs the funding bill and says he will urge his caucus to vote for it. The White House is pressing Congress to get the legislation to the president for his signature without delay. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The measure also includes massive increases in defense spending. To give the Senate more time to approve the bill, the House plans to pass another short-term bill to keep federal agencies running until March 15th. A professor of economics at the University of Alabama is throwing red flags at talk of stimulus payments that he says contributed to inflation. Dr. Joshua Robinson said these stimulus bills and recovery acts were necessary to prevent economic downfall, but explained with more money to spend on the same goods and services, prices went up. Inflation was 7.5% higher in January 2022 than in 2021, with more than $20 billion circulating in the economy. Robinson said unemployment during the pandemic, which measured between 14 and 17%, are near numbers that could be considered a depression. Losing your sense of taste and smell are symptoms of COVID-19. Some patients can still experience months after the infection. Now, researchers in Philadelphia are testing a new way to restore those senses. Stephanie Stahl has one woman's story.
Nancy D'Amato is finally able to enjoy eating again. She lost her ability to taste and smell after a bout with COVID-19 last February.
It was really, really jarring. I mean, I lost it instantaneously.
It's often one of the first symptoms of COVID that's usually temporary. But for some patients like Nancy, the inability to taste and smell again lasts and becomes a COVID long-haul symptom.
It was life-changing that I couldn't enjoy any food. I didn't want to eat. It was so depressing.
With limited treatment options, Nancy found an intriguing research project at Jefferson Health.
I really feel that it's helping me.
The Jefferson research is testing platelet-rich plasma, PRP, from the patient's own blood to restore smell. It's been used to heal injuries and regrow hair. Now, instead of injections, Dr. Rosen and his team are using a biodegradable sponge infused with PRP.
We put it up very high in the nose where all the smell fibers are located. It gets absorbed through the lining of the nose. It basically helps those cells that have been damaged by the COVID virus to start regenerating.
He says of the 9 COVID patients who've received PRP, 8 have responded.
I'm able to start to enjoy some flavors, food again.
After 5 treatments once a month, Nancy says her sense of smell and taste are slowly coming back. She's able to enjoy her perfume again and is back to wine tastings. Stephanie Stahl, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Rosen says PRP therapy has helped other patients who have trouble with taste and smell. He hopes to get a grant to expand the research on COVID-19 patients. Pfizer is testing its COVID pill in young children. It's been authorized for use in kids 12 and older, but Pfizer is now testing the treatment in children as young as 6. The drug maker expects to have results by the end of this year. It's already been found to sharply reduce the risk of hospitalization or death in symptomatic adults. With COVID infection rates down and restrictions over in many areas of the country, spring break numbers are expected to be way up. The Metropolitan Airports Commission says the number of people flying out of MSP from mid-March to early April will be the highest since 2019, with leisure and spring break travelers making up the bulk of passengers. The week of March 20th, they say, will be the busiest week of spring break. That means possible backups at security, especially during the early morning hours. TSA is offering suggestions to get through screening with the least amount of hassle. They say continue to wear your mask, follow rules that limit liquids, pack food in a clear plastic bag, leave prohibited items at home, and do not bring a firearm to a security checkpoint. Also, give yourself plenty of time. Arrive at least 2 hours early Empty your pockets when you get to the checkpoint. Contact TSA with your questions in advance. And you can find all the travel guidelines and requirements on tsa.gov or on your airport's website. United Way of Cass and Clay counties have kicked off their third annual United Way Home for Good. Now through April 4th, you can donate to help provide a Home for Good basket of essentials to a local family in need.
A Home for Good baskets were created for families that are transitioning out of homelessness into stable housing to just provide a bit of a warmer welcome for them into their new homes.
Those baskets will be distributed starting April 7th. Visit unitedwaycassclay.org or text Give Cass Clay to 85511 to give. New for you at 4, Carson Wentz is on the move again. Numerous sources, including ESPN's Adam Schefter, are reporting that the Indianapolis Colts are trading the quarterback to the Washington Commanders for a package of draft picks. Washington will pay the full $28 million due to Wentz for the 2022 season, they say, which includes a $5 million roster bonus coming next week. Wentz spent one season as the Colts QB after Indianapolis traded with Philadelphia in February 2021. Wentz from NDSU was the #2 overall draft pick in the 2016 draft. Later